Am I live? I don't know. Let me check. Okay. Let me check. Okay, looks good. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, you guys. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys had a lovely weekend or a restful weekend. GP card halfway to target. How wonderful. That's a good way to start the week, don't you think? Look at the notification over here. GP card halfway to target. I love it. Don't you love it for me? I love it for me. Anyways, we have lots of opportunities loading up for the new trading week. Looking forward to making some good profits this week. So let's get started on our Sunday market preps with Eva, where we talk about trading psychology, risk management, a bit of fundamentals, and lots of technical analysis. Yeah, so we're gonna keep this very quick because I am very energetic in the opposite direction. I woke up at 6 something today and I've been busy all day long. So can you go downstairs, please? Satu. You want to go say hi to Dada? Say hi to Dada. I'm in a meeting, please. Thank you. Okay, so let's start with fundamentals. Let me take this down so you guys can see. Okay, let's do this quickly so we can call it an evening. I need to go take a nap or I need to go to bed. Starting off the week tomorrow, which is Monday, we have Japan. Japanese yen has some red folder. BOJ policy rates. I hope you guys actually know how to read like the fundamentals. So usual effects is what you should look at. Actual greater than forecast is good for the currency. This gives you the idea of what could potentially happen when the news is released, right? So actual, meaning this right here, greater than forecast. If the number here is greater than what is forecasted, right? So over here, like right now. If the actual, so the number that's going to get printed over here, if it's going to be greater than what is forecasted, then that's good for the currency. So that means the currency would rise, basically. Moving on, we have USD news. We have GBP CPI. Okay. Funds rate for USD. US bank holiday on Thursday. What's the holiday? Okay. NZD. What's the holiday? Okay, we have a few red folders, so we should expect some volatility for the week. So now let's go to technicals. I had a beautiful trading week last week, of course. I told you guys I was in GBP CAD, right? At the start of, during the last live session. You guys have to give me a minute because I'm sort of like booting as I'm talking because yeah. So last Sunday I was in GBP CAD. I told you guys. I think I was at maybe around entry or something. But the trade eventually went to my target, and then I found another entry, and that one is already halfway to target, as I showed you the alerts that just went off. So I'm going to be breaking those trades down, and I'm going to anticipate trades for the new week, of course. So starting off with our technicals, we look at the currency indexes. So my top pairs are USD and Japanese yen pairs. Okay. So I like to look at the US dollar and the Japanese yen um, currency index. It just helps me anticipate the moves better, and helps me with direction basically. So this is the US dollar. The US dollar has been falling for a while. We are clearly in a downtrend, so we should anticipate for a pullback to an area of interest for retest. Okay, so you draw up your support and resistance levels and anticipate for price to go back to one of those areas to retest and continue downwards. So I'm expecting for the US dollar to drop for the week. So that means that the what do you call it? GU, EU, NU, AU are going to buy, and then UCAD, UCHEF are going to sell. So those are my USD pairs that I watch on my list. Moving on to this guy. We had quite a spike. I think that was on a Thursday or Friday. Yeah. We had quite a spike, but it looks like it's going to continue the downtrend. For a potential move, let me see the technicals. So usually whenever I see an impulse, I always wait for a retracement to continue, right? So coming back down to the 4-hour time frame, this is the area I would have been interested in for price to continue selling from. Okay, so if the Japanese currency index is going to sell, then the GJ and GJ, EJ, UJ, they're going to buy. Okay, so let's look at the J's. So after this move I caught, I haven't gotten back into GJ yet, or I didn't find a reasonable trade to take last week on GJ. So let me see what could potentially happen. Let me delete this. So clearing off the drawings, price is just in an uptrend. It's not really okay. It created a huge wick to the downside on the weekly time frame. That was the last week's candle. On the daily time frame, we can see an area here. It fine tunes on the 4-hour time frame, so we can see here an area of support. So what could happen next? Price could come back to retest, continue upwards, but honestly I wouldn't like that trade. A break and retest to the upside, or if it decides to drop, it could drop back down to this level of support here where I have this demand zone drawn out. But honestly, I'll be holding off on GJ until I see a clearer setup. Let me see the EJ. Yeah, EJ did not bother coming down this deep for a retracement. It went down to this level of previous breakout level. It went up, came back to retest, and now it's going back up. So if you go back to the 4-hour time frame, if I go back to the 4-hour time frame, so what I would anticipate is for price to come back for a retracement, to create the bottom wick on the weekly time frame before it just creates a new high on the daily or weekly time frame. So that's what I'll be anticipating, and it sort of aligns with the Japanese currency index. Pull back for continuation, but honestly I would not bank on it just because of the volatility. Price is already going down. EJ is already going up anyways, so yeah, just wait for the next move. No stress, no need to stress yourself out about like a trade leaving you. What I realized is there would always be another trade and another trade and another trade for you to take advantage of. So what you need to do is learn from the opportunity. Okay, if you think maybe you could have caught the move, identify things that you can look out for next time, right? So that you can take advantage of the move and move on and just wait for the next opportunity. Like, keep your mind above matter. We'll talk about that in psychology anyway. So UJ I took a trade on UJ last week and it hit my SL. I was in, I think it was on Monday. Yeah, I got into buys off of simple break and retest, bullish engulfing, and I was in some profits. And then news happened and went to my SL, which is okay. We'll move on to the next trade. So now I'm watching to see what's going to happen next. I was anticipating for sells, but you see, because of how the Japan index is looking, the sale will be contradicting my GJ and EJ analysis. So I'm just going to be watching. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be watching what's going to happen at this area where price is at right now, because it could literally just stay above this level of support and then retest and buy, or it could break and sell, something like this. So I'll just be watching for now. Okay, my USD guys, USD CAD, I missed this trade on Friday. I had a lot on my plate when the trade was happening and it happened really fast. However, like I just said, if you miss a trade, you learn from the opportunity and you move on. So what I learned from this is I was anticipating for a break and retest, right? So you see a level of support here, price broke underneath, came back to retest, simple. However, this engulfing candle that it gave was going to eat into my profits. So I was like, okay, what could I have done, next time in order to not miss a move and in order to catch a move like this, right? So two things. Number one, pay attention, okay? Pay attention as much as you can, right? And then secondly, for this particular trade, after getting my bearish engulfing candle confirmation, to wait for a better RR, I could have gone, or I would have gone down to the 1 hour time frame to see if price would maybe do some form of retest, give another indication to go short. So you see here we have a pin bar that formed just at the area of interest. Okay, it went back to area of interest and then rejected. So this pin bar would have been the entry confirmation, SL above the zone, right? And targeting a 1 to 2.5 RR, you should be good in and out of the trade before the day ran out on Friday. Okay, anyways, moving on to the next trade. Looking at the daily time frame, we're still in a downtrend, right? We are at an impulse level, so we should wait for a retracement to happen. So there's a high probability for price actually come back to this zone to retest and short. So I'm going to set my alert at this level. EU has not come back to my area of interest yet. It made a major impulse during the week last week. So next thing is impulse retracement. So retracement back to my area of interest to go long. Let's see the daily. Yeah, makes sense on the daily time frame. Okay. GU is just playing around. Let me clean it up a bit. Let me see the daily, weekly. Okay, daily. The daily time frame is like they are like too close together. The impulse is not like impulsing, if you know what I mean. So moving on, what we could anticipate for is the major level of support to be tested again, which is all the way down here or here. So I'll set my alert up here just because that's the closest level. Retest to continue or retest to continue. Okay. AU. Yeah, I don't like the structure on AU. See the daily. Nah. I am not loving it. Let me see any. Yeah, they look like GU. EU is like the most clear, so I'm just going to leave my banner open for EU. Okay, come back to NU. Let's take that out, take this one out as well. So still have the level of support that I got a buy from a few days ago. Move this guy a bit lower here. We are still in an uptrend, so there's a high potential for price to still buy again off of the current zone, or it could come lower to continue long. Well, let me see. I just don't like the sideways movement. It's giving indecision a bit. USD CHF. Weekly closed bearish. Daily, in time frame is still bearish. So we have an impulse, wait for retracement to go short. So exactly what I have already drawn out here. So retest to go short, right? It makes sense to have a level of support, break, retest, shorts, simple. Refresh my alert and we're good. GCAD. Okay, yeah, GCAD is going. GCAD is going. I would have to leave this drawing for my journaling needs, but let's go to a fresh chart and check it out. Okay, so the weekly time frame is slowly going down, right? Remember I told you guys that this trade has a lot of potential, like a lot of downside potential here. So if you want to get into the trade, where would you get in from? Assuming, you just want to take advantage of the move, right? So what you would do is you find a level of support or resistance and wait for price to get to that point again to go short. Simple. So looking here, what we can see here is we have a level of support, a bit of kind of like a fake out. Then we have a level of support here, and then we have resistance up here. Price literally went all the way up and then before it continues to the downside. So in order to create the upward weekly wick for this new week, right? It will make sense for price to sort of come somewhere here. Let me just mark this out. Let me see what it looks like on the lower time frames. Okay. Yeah, price will come back somewhere here to continue short. So somewhere here, short, and then back up or potentially up there and go short. Personally, I'll be more interested in this zone up here. Okay, up here is where I'm more interested in, but I'm just going to set my alert here just to let me know. I had it set up on Euro GBP, but the thing didn't come back down. So on to the next. Yeah, so that's basically it for my technicals. I did set my alerts, right? Yeah, I did. EU. Okay. GCAD. Yeah. Okay, so that is it for the technical aspect. Drop any questions in the chat if you have any. Next thing is risk management. So like, when it comes to risk management, like what do you really want to say? Just like manage your risk, guys. You know what? I realized that you don't need much in order to make your trading work. Like, you don't need much. You don't need to over leverage. You don't need to over trade. You just need the right trades with the right risk, right? So manage your risk accordingly, according to your account, according to your risk management plan. Then psychology. I feel like psychology is ever evolving, at least for me. Psychology is ever evolving. But I'm personally getting better with handling my own trading psychology, because what's important to me is identifying certain patterns in myself with regards to my trading, in order to curb my trading psychology, right? So one thing I would want to add at this point is journaling. journaling is so crucial. It really made a huge difference in my trading. It's almost, for me, journaling is almost like I have my own personal trading psychologist, because I'm documenting things, I'm documenting my reaction to certain, market patterns in addition to my own habits and personal life. So I'm able to filter, adjust here and there, and make my trading better. Okay. Yes. So start journaling today if you do not journal. Um, Yes. So what else? What else? Yeah, we have psychology down and everything down. So hoping for a profitable trading week. I'll see you guys in our next live. And of course we should have a video dropping this week. And I'm actually starting a new series on for short form content with regards to trading. So look out for that as well. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next weekend, hopefully, if I'm not busy. Have a lovely weekend, or no, have a lovely week and trade safe. Honestly, it doesn't feel like I had a weekend. That's what I'm feeling like. It doesn't feel like I had a weekend because I was busy like Saturday, Sunday, even Friday. So have a lovely week and trade safe, of course.